Hi everyone, welcome back to Violetartistry. Today we're talking foundations, more specifically foundations that I believe in, I love, I have been using in my professional kit for years since I have started in this industry, and a lot of you have asked for this. It took me a while to put it together, and here we are. Some of them are old school, way back in the day loves, and some of them are new favorites that I slowly incorporated in my professional kit as well as my personal makeup bag. I will mention which ones I have in my kit as well as my personal, so you guys get a sense of what and how and why I use them. Let's get started. I know I'm going to sound like a broken record, and you're probably just like, you're tired of hearing about this foundation, not just from my channel, but it is indeed one of the best foundations on the market. And I am talking about the Luminous Silk Foundation by Giorgio Armani. I have had this foundation in my kit since I first started makeup artistry in 2005, 2006. I was an apprentice. I had the pleasure to learn from an amazing makeup artist. She was a Japanese makeup artist, and she used to be Pat McGrath's right hand. And I started working for her as her assistant, and she has taught me so much. Because she worked with Pat McGrath, they did a lot of the Armani shows throughout Europe in her career, so she had a lot of Armani products. Back then, it wasn't a variety of Armani cosmetics. There were concealers and foundations and skincare, but she had the Luminous Silk Foundation in her kit in all the colors that came at that time. And I remember saving money, and it was so painful when I went and bought, at the time, 3 colors, 3 bottles, and I was mixing and matching and making all these extra shades for my clients. And to this day, 15 years later, this foundation is #1 in my kit. Why? It is an oil-free foundation, and it has medium buildable coverage. It gives you this naturally flawless skin, effortless. It's oil-free, I think I mentioned that. And so unlike other foundations which are made with round pigments that cause separation on the skin, this microfill technology pigments that this foundation has lay flat on your skin. So it's seamless blending and layering. It's flawless. I'm gonna stop talking about it. It comes in 30 shades and it retails for $64. It is the foundation I use for all my clients on the red carpet. It has never failed me. I'm wearing it today. I'm testing all sorts of makeup looks. I'm gonna do a shameless plug here. I'm wearing it today because in less than 2 weeks, my son, who a lot of you know from following me on Instagram, he's now 12 years old, I can't believe. He has a movie coming out March 6th. He plays Ryan, Ben Affleck's nephew, in the movie The Way Back. So March 6th, go watch it. And March 1st is the premiere. And I cannot wait to watch the movie and see my kiddo walking the red carpet. And I will be his +1. So I want it to look good. So I've been testing all sorts of formulations, and just to look good and not embarrass him because he's 12 and he's like, so, you know. Anyways, March 6th, The Way Back. Go watch the movie. Moving on to another foundation in my professional kit, Dior Backstage Foundation. This has entered my kit this past year, 2019. I can't believe we're like already 2020, 2019. It has taken over my professional kit when it comes to lightweight foundations. This is one of the reasons I love this, because it's buildable, but it still feels lightweight. It is a natural finish, and it's vegan, cruelty-free, gluten-free, waterproof, and sweat resistant. Comes in 40 colors and it retails for $40. I personally have this in my personal kit as well, and I wear shade 2.5 neutral. Another Dior foundation I completely fell in love with is the Forever Skin Glow by Dior, and this is medium to full coverage but with a radiant glow. I love this so much. It only comes in 24 colors, so I've been debating whether or not to add it to my kit, but for now I love playing with it. I love the radiance that lives on the skin. It gives you that uber moisturized, healthy looking skin. Lastly, out of my Dior collection foundations, it is the Dior Skin Forever. Now, this has been replaced, I believe, with Dior Matte 24 Hours or something like that. I looked up the ingredients, nothing is different. So I'm assuming they have changed the packaging to look like all the Dior products out right now, except the Backstage collection, which is a separate collection. So it's still matte. I love how it sits on the skin. It's medium to full coverage. It lasts for a very long time. And what I noticed about this foundation, which by the way, I'm almost out. This was my first Dior that I purchased, that I tested and tried it and wear it for a while. What I love about this foundation is the more time that goes by throughout the day, the better it looks on the skin. It becomes one with the skin, and it's still matte, it's still flawless. I don't know what kind of technology they use to do this, but it feels very comfortable on the skin, and like I said, it just looks better as the hours go by. It's also the Allure Beauty winner, one of the award, so to speak, winning foundations. This next one is quite a guilty pleasure, and unfortunately it only comes in 8 colors and it retails for $88. That is the most expensive foundation I have in my personal collection, and it was Splurge. It did not have great reviews, but I always like to try out and test myself products, especially when it comes to skin products. And I'm 3/4 in, and I want to say that this is by far my most loved foundation when it comes to barely there, dewy. I'm not wearing anything makeup, but I look perfect. It has flawless finish, moisturizes the skin, and it's also long wearing. But 8 colors, Tom Ford, come on. Another personal foundation that I have fallen in love with is the Milk Makeup Flex Foundation Stick. Now this, it is quite a different formula than what I'm used in foundations. I've always stayed away from foundation sticks. One, it takes a lot of work to put this in your professional kit. You gotta scoop it out, mix it on a plate, make sure it matches your client. Not only that, a lot of the stick foundations, I find them, there are 2 ways, either very drying or very oily. So marshmallow root extract that allows the formula to move with your face and never crease or cake. That's what I found so interesting. I apply this with a brush just all over, buffing it, and it never cakes. It never gets oily, and throughout the day it just gets a little more dewy and moisturizing, but not oily when you feel like you're greasy. It's also free of all the sulfates and parabens and mineral oil, vegan and cruelty free, and it's truly one of the stick foundations that I can say it becomes one with your skin. I have heard beautiful things about the Hourglass Vanish stick foundation, so if you have tried it, please let me know in the comments below. That's my next one on the list. I played a little bit with them in the store and I kind of got intrigued, so let me know what you think of them. I know it's not a new one, but speaking of new, last year Urban Decay came out with the Stay Naked Weightless foundation, and what I can say about this is that if you really love the Tom Ford Traceless Foundation like I do, this is quite similar. I don't like the word dupe, but this is quite similar. It's sheer to medium coverage and it's quite buildable. If you want to build it up with the beauty sponge, it builds. It has a very nice semi-matte finish. I don't want to say matte, but it's semi-matte finish where it's just enough to leave your skin glowing but not shiny. I do feel it minimizes the appearance of pores. I noticed here on my nose and right here in between my eyebrows, it leaves a beautiful finish and it's quite long lasting. Why I realized that? I took this to Mexico with me during Christmas, but in Mexico, like 80 degrees. So I wanted to test it out. It was one of the things that arrived before Christmas and I wore it and I loved it. When you first put it on, it is matte, but it becomes one with your skin and it looks very, very natural. And again, Urban Decay, it is cruelty-free. This next one, it's quite a rarity. I haven't really heard anybody talk about it here in the YouTube community. It is something that professional makeup artists we use in our industry. It is 25 years old. It's been around. It's the Indo Moisture Foundation. And it is the first HD foundation created. It comes in 12 colors and it retails, I believe, for $75, $77. It contains light diffusing mineral pigment that helps blur your pores and also aloe extra, which continuously moisturizes your skin. Another foundation that resides in my professional kit and it has been one of my #1 staples along with the Luminous Silk Foundation by Armani is the NARS Sheer Glow Foundation. Now this has been a foundation that has been talked for so many years here on YouTube and then it just totally left. It just went away, it disappeared. Well, not in the professional world. It still remains one of the most used foundations. It is medium to full coverage. It has a glow that it comes from within. It covers beautifully. The pores are just like gone when you apply this. And just like the Armani one, I'm gonna say it, but I'm probably gonna get a lot of debate over it. But if you don't love these two foundations, you have not used them right and you don't know how to use them. I'm just gonna say it. All right, moving on. The last one that I have in my personal kit, it is my personal makeup bag. It is the Kosis Tinted Face Oil. Now this is a relatively new product on the market, the whole brand, I believe. I purchased this at the end of last year. It is a lightweight, almost featherweight foundation, very liquidy. You have to mix it because the oil has to mix with the pigment that separates while it just sits. So you mix it well. And the way I apply this is mostly with my fingers. If you want to apply it with the kabuki brush, it does provide more coverage, but it does have that natural, barely there look. One of the things that I want to mention about this, if your skin is not properly exfoliated, it will cling to every single dry patch you have on your skin. So your skin has to be properly exfoliated and properly moisturized. All right, my loves, these were the top 10 most loved foundations between my pro kit and my personal makeup bag. This is what I've been loving. This is what I've been using for years in some cases, and I am happy with them. They perform the way I want them to perform, and they just haven't let me down yet. Please let me know about the Hourglass foundation because I want to know your opinion and how you love it and why. Until next time, thank you so much for watching, and if you love this type of videos, I'll be more than happy to share with you other type of products like blushes or bronzers or powders, which I'm so powders. I'm so anti-powder when it comes to makeup, but I do have some favorites. So let me know what you'd love to see next, and I will see you and talk to you in my next video. Thank you again for watching, and have a beautiful rest of the week.